Righto, guys, welcome back to Digger Gaming. Today we're looking at a pretty cool video. It does go for a little bit longer, but it's a good video. It shows the process of planning, the preparation, and then the carrying out of an operation itself. The video is on the Rifles Regiment, specifically 2nd Battalion, doing some pretty asymmetric warfare type stuff in Kenya. From what I understand, the regiment is tasked with basically procuring light vehicles themselves and acting as a light vehicle infantry brigade whilst on operations. So it's a pretty cool one. It's got lots of cool stuff in here. Let's get it started. Alright guys, so as always, the original link will be down in the description, as well as my Discord, Facebook, Twitch. Please feel free to leave any positive feedback there, or jump into my Discord and have a chat. But yeah, the original video will also be there. Let's get started.
What would happen if a light roll unit deployed somewhere and we just hired a load of vehicles and rolled around wherever we needed to be?
2 rifles.
That's what I was trying to explain. Pretty cool concept, very asymmetric, and not far from what could potentially need to happen as well. So
have been challenged. Their physical and mental robustness is being tested.
just pause it there quickly. You can see here, it's called, I think it's called test weapon training simulation. Basically, every time you shoot a blank round, a laser will shoot and it'll hit one of these sensors and tell you what injury you have.
We join them in Kenya
Awesome.
as they come into a new experimentation phase of their exercise. A fortnight of specialised soldiering, experimenting with new tactics and mounted drills in civilian vehicles.
You can see there, I've only ever worked in vehicles like this, maybe once or twice, but it is very hard to get the rifle out of the vehicle. They're not made for that, obviously. So it's probably good
Culminating in a company-level dawn raid. And with a little help from the RAF, we will be following them every step of the way.
Our journey begins a stone's throw away from the equator, at the feet of Mount Kenya.
What's he wearing? Flannel?
Meet Dom. He's going to be our guide on the ground.
Dom's a
We're going to a place
lieutenant.
called SWARA. So it's basically our main training camp on the training area to the north. It's basically in the middle of a wildlife park. It's not bad. It's got a field kitchen and everything, so it's a good little
In the
camp.
middle of a wildlife park.
Tons. So if you don't see a giraffe, an elephant, a leopard, or a zebra whilst we're on our way up there, I'll buy you a Tusker when we get that.
A leopard.
I've seen a
That's
leopard.
picture. Yeah, I've seen one leopard since I've been over there. Yeah, so
Jeez.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah, no, the word I said, or. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Elephant,
right.
zebra, giraffe, or.
I said that.
That's a engineer-made bridge by the looks of it.
Luckily for Dom, he would be keeping his wallet in his pocket. As promised, the drive to Swara was pretty wild. The safari industry is big business in Kenya, and conservation efforts have seen the elephant.
So for the guys on the ground there, this is what they joined the army for. This is what you want to be doing. Yeah, this is big ticket stuff. Probably the 10% out of the 90% boredom that I call.
Population here double in 30 years. The training area lies deep in the bush, 200 kilometres north of Nairobi. It's been a rite of passage for British infantrymen for over 40 years.
Welcome to Operating Base SWARA.
And bushfighting is something Australian soldiers are pretty adept in. So
Can you tell us a little bit about where we are? So we're in Kenya. We've been here for about 2.5 months as part of both Exercise Askari Storm and then a persistent engagement phase that's followed on from that. As part of the persistent engagement, the plan for future iterations of this exercise will either at the start or the end do something different. And
that's cool.
So we've filled that gap with a bunch of different activities between finishing the exercise on the 8th of November and now. And the primary one that we're here now doing is the experimentation.
It's good to see some training that's not so linear, not so predictable, not so go out in the bush, go to a feature, set up a defensive position, wait there for a week and conduct patrols out of there. This is, yeah, this training's had some thought to it. Good training.
So we've got a couple of masters on this. Land Warfare Centre and our brigade headquarters have given us question sets of how is it to operate dispersed, which is something that we're trying to do to maximise survivability, and what would happen if a light roll unit deployed somewhere and we just hired a load of vehicles and rolled around wherever we needed to be.
For riflemen used to walking,
So that's sort of happened a little bit in Solomon Islands and Timor on different rotations and times. Light infantry using everyday vehicles.
everywhere, some wheels and an aux cable probably makes a nice change.
Yeah, and aircon.
Off the back of the experimentation phase of Ascari Storm, it's our chance to act and behave differently. How best do we use a civilian 4x4 in a combat environment, and what's worked before, what hasn't worked before, and what we can try based off suggestions from the team.
Behind me here is some of the guys from A Company, and the exercise is that they're going to be driving along, they're going to come under contact. The front passenger and driver are going to dismount, they're going to put some rounds down range. The two rear passengers at that stage will also dismount, they take cover behind the vehicle.
Of course, the other thing is these vehicles aren't going to have the same protection as PMVs. You probably want to get a large volume of fire down
Put
pretty
some
quickly.
more cover and fire down.
Yeah.
They can deploy some smoke and extract out of here as quick as possible.
So the main drills that we're focusing on today are contact drills. So basically the guys react
You can see them here. They're obviously they're practicing this over and over again before they do it.
to enemy
real.
fire within a vehicle. 9 times out of 10, we are light infantry,
Yep.
and contact drills for us
Get
is
out of the
finding some
car.
cover and getting amongst the fight. Whereas in a vehicle, it's a bit more cumbersome. Wearing helmet, body armour, potentially day sacks and webbing inside a nice 4x4 isn't as comfy as it could be. So to that end, it's just working out how best we can work in a completely different environment and how we can take the skills and drills we've learned on our feet and transfer them to the
Absolutely.
vehicle.
Although I can't. I'll see if I can get that image back. But if we can't, well. Bit further back. Old matey not shooting, not looking where he's shooting. Oh well, just nitpicking.
Yeah, good to go.
Normally they'd say last man. or
After the training, I got to chat to 2 riflemen about how they were finding being in a vehicle for a change.
Talk to you.
Yeah.
Was I looking at him, was I?
Yeah.
Roger.
So just pretend it's to us. So just one more
Roger.
time. So yeah, introduce yourself.
Go on. Go again! Go again, you got me. Right, start again. Right, stop laughing. Serious now, I'm trying to get famous here, you ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
Classic soldiers.
My name's Rifle Amelia, I'm part of 2 rifles. Been out in Kenya since the 20th of September. Loving it so far, yeah. Brilliant.
And what about yourself?
I'm Lance Corporal Bowden, been out here at the same time as Rifle Amelia, and I'm 4.5 years now in battalion.
You said you've enjoyed it, but what have been kind of the stuff that you've been getting up to?
Well, this is my first time doing
Hands in his pockets, that wouldn't happen in Australia. Is that something that happens in the UK? Are you allowed to have your hands in your pockets like that?
overseas exercise. So it's been a good experience. I mean, it's been challenging at times, to be fair, like with the heat and the environment, such as animals, you've got different terrains to cross. It's been brilliant, to be fair. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
And no elephants in Liverpool then?
No elephants in Liverpool, no. It's just horrible birds. Yeah.
You can tell now.
Let's talk a bit about today. What you guys been up to
I'll
here? What
pause
kind of
it
drills you been
quickly.
going over?
So we've been learning how to fight from
You can tell now the kit that soldiers have these days, infantrymen, is a lot more mobile. if I can find a photo, I'll put up the body armor I had, which was very cumbersome when I was in. But yeah, looks a lot better than what we used
Vehicles,
to have.
learn how to dismount with casualties, contact drills, and just having a bit of fun with the vehicles, really.
It's a different challenge because obviously we're being like rolling through rifles. We're not used to having vehicles. We're on foot for most of our exercises, so this is, as you say, experimental. So it's something completely different to what we're used to. And so far, it's actually been. This is the first day out here, but so far it's been good. So it's making sure that you fit correctly in and out of vehicles. So as you say, it is an experiment, but it's a bit of a challenge, to be fair. It's not easy, as you'd expect, but it's good fun.
Good stuff, man. And what about the new A3? How's that been getting hands on? Is that your first time with it?
Oh yeah, the new
first time
new
two rifles has got it. It's not been just the same as the A2, really. Just obviously different handguard. That's just really
The
it,
shots
really.
are a lot cleaner on it as well.
Yeah, the shots are a lot cleaner.
Yeah. It's a lot cleaner of a rifle, smarter as well.
The next day, it was time to see the skills the troops had been learning put into practice, this time coming up against the Kenyan Special Forces.
Ooh.
Yeah, so today, 7th Platoon have been tasked with essentially clearing a stretch of road from south to north and basically reacting to any enemy forces that could be present on that road. We're pretty much expecting to get ambushed by the enemy, and it's going to be how we react to that. So because we're currently on this experimentation phase at the moment, we've gone through kind of different SOPs and we're going to experiment to see which works best, really.
Cool. 7th Platoon mission then. Clear. 7th Platoon is clear route sword from the line departure to the LOE. Nice and simple.
Right, so this is obviously an order group. He's going through SMAC, so situation, mission, execution. Situation, mission, admin and log, command and control. Yeah, I think that's it. Something right along those lines.
7th Platoon mission, clear, route sword from line of departure to the LOE. Then I'll show you where the LOE and the line of departure is in a second. Rules of engagement then, card alpha, okay. When we're leaving this location, okay, everybody is to be loaded and made ready, alright? So after this,
The rules of
on the ground,
engagement.
be loaded and made ready, alright? Cool, right, route out then.
Both sides are using TES systems on their weapons and bodies, meaning accurate shots will register electronically. It's basically Laser Quest,
Yeah.
but in Africa. We leave Swara and convoy to Route Sword.
That's something that people don't realise. The amount of dust that you have to breathe in sitting in the back of a truck. It's insane.
It's hot, it's dusty, and we know the KSF are nearby. They could ambush at any time.
Wonder how well equipped the KSF is. Under contact, guys.
After coming under fire, 7 Platoon regroup. The instinct of an infantryman is to dismount and continue this fight
Bloody
on
oath.
foot.
You can see all that stuff taped on his rifle there. So that would be probably his night weapon system.
A group begins circling back on the enemy's last known position,
As well
while the
as
others take up defensive positions in the
flashlights and
vehicles.
things like that. And so this is a clearance patrol to clear the ambush. Sort of advance to contact, I guess. Yep. So you can see they're spread out. They're ready for contact. Alright. Well. Obviously I'm not there, so I don't know the situation, but normally it'd be run down, you'd hit the deck, crawl, observe, aim and fire. They must be a little bit further away though.
Contact front left hand man.
Yeah, there we go, they're finding information out now.
Yeah, keep eyes on. Let me know when you're moving.
Voodoo, let me know when you're level.
So is that the Alcan side or the
Definitely
Susa?
right. Pair one down.
For those people that aren't veterans, the yellow thing on the end is a blank firing attachment. So they're using blank rifles. They obviously don't want any extra metal or shit flying out when they're shooting at someone.
Pair 2, move. Pair 2 down.
Alright. Sorry to stop it here again, but this is a very good demonstration of fire and movement. So it's obviously pretty quiet. The corporal or section commander has quite a bit of knowledge of the situation, and he's able to give orders pretty clearly, making pairs move.
Pair 2, move.
They've always got someone on the ground ready to fire and someone moving. Didn't do an obs crossing there though.
Peer right, peer right.
Looks like they're doing a withdraw from contact.
Enemy, right hand side.
I find myself in between the advancing 2 rifles and a KSF operator. These guys are involved in the crunchiest of deployments across East Africa,
Yeah, these
including
guys will be
operations
battle-hardened.
against Al-Shabaab in Somalia.
Well,
Training
the-
alongside the British will help prepare them for the worst.
I hate to call that out, but you can tell, you can see that they know it's training. Watching fire without really even looking and take off. Oh well, that's why.
As ammunition begins to run dry, it's clearly time to GTFO.
Get the fuck out. So this would be a tunnel of love.
Jesus Christ. So the boys are pretty low on ammo. They've decided to withdraw. Like I said before, a couple of casualties on both sides by the looks of things. But that was pretty punchy.
So the tactical withdrawal would be the same as the advance to contact, only they're going backwards. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. Not sure which these guys are doing yet, but soon find out. Where are they? Looks like they're just making a run
The
for
fitness
it.
of 2 rifles has really begun to show now. I'm absolutely pagged.
Yep.
There's still a couple of kilometres to go.
Light
to get back
infantry
to the
are
extraction
super
point.
fit.
We extracted and made our way back to Swara. We had a dawn raid to prepare for. Two RAF Puma crews were conducting training nearby, and we managed to get ourselves on board.
Yeah.
They said they had a little surprise for us.
So if you haven't ever been on a helicopter, it's pretty awesome. You do get sick of it though, but the first time is pretty memorable. .230 Aviation Squadron. Fuck yeah. That's a pretty cool surprise.
Surprise.
for intelligence gathering too, I guess. Contour flying.
We touch back down at Swara just in time for orders.
Let's have a look.
CO2 rifles' intent is to
So we'll quickly go back a little bit here. This is a big mud map, obviously. It looks like it's a company operation. So this would be the captain. He'd be giving out orders to the platoon staff. Platoon staff would then give them out to their section staff, and section would give them out to the section. They'd all act in conjunction. They'd have the radio man, the SIGs, the medics, everyone here. So yeah, this is what I was talking about SMEAC before, just a little bit higher up.
Rifles' intent is to repel Amarian aggression across the international border. We'll do this by means of a company strength raid. We'll clear enemy and then return control of local security to the Zeewin Defence Forces. We'll leave Obswara. The first call sign to leave will be the call sign 11 Recce. They'll leave at 0300. Recce their route, insurgent to the Wadi, and establish both FUP and line of departure for one.
The orders sound pretty basic, but you got to remember this is the top tier orders. The platoon commander will then go and find out how to do his job. Section commander will figure out how to do theirs. So your hand isn't held in every aspect. You do have to make decisions if you're a leader.
0600 will be H hour. 3 platoon, you'll be mounted, good to go, and you'll launch down to the FRV location at 0600. That's when we'll go noisy. 1 platoon, assault onto the break in the fence line. That's not there, find a way. Get yourselves broken into the position, and your initial priority will then be securing the hostages in Alpha 1.
The planning goes on well into the night.
Yeah, so then as a section commander, you're the one in the end of your sleeping bag with your light trying to write orders before you actually have to go and do this thing.
Good morning. It's just coming up to 0500. H hours at 0600. I'm just about to catch up with Alex, the platoon commander of 1 platoon, and see how they're getting on with their preparations. Almost ready to go.
There's those stretchers that take
What's up?
force of
How's it going? You all set?
the force of the Hulk to put together. And that is just that what we just saw there was personal role radio, obviously putting on campaign. Pretty necessary at dark time. The bright red camouflage. They're patrolling out on foot.
The lights of the camp begin to fade, and before long, it's pitch black. The cameras are struggling.
Yeah, so if the cameras are struggling, night vision's probably going to struggle. It depends on moonlight, starlight, how well your night fighting equipment will work. A lot of the time, this was previous generations of night vision, I didn't even bother using my single binocular unless we were in a contact or something. But yeah, they're a lot better now.
But as dawn begins to break, night vision becomes redundant.
So they're Still got a single binocular for the normal infantry.
So we're in this woody for about half an hour now. The camp that they're assaulting is about
4 mark point that they're sitting in now.
And we're just waiting for a bit of light to get this show on the road.
With an attack, you normally always do it at dawn or dusk. Just the best time. People's eyes play tricks on them. Not as easy to see the enemy. A bit more blurry. Signal there.
It's H hour.
I only got a few mags. That's the advantage of those radios. You don't have to yell or throw hand signals down the line. This would be the advance into contact. They know they're going to get hit by contact, so they are. There we go. See the test simulation system there, shooting out the laser. Enemy party.
We need to fight, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's close quarters fighting.
Right, one time, enemy, 4 back, rate of 10.
There we go, he's
Right,
giving out it.
Fuller, push up that vehicle in front. Right. We're going straight into this 10. We're going, fuck, enemy here.
He's giving out. Not the best
Looking for left our 10. Right, we're going into this fucking
contact.
yeah.
Call out.
Lambert, stay in the ISO container, stay down. Get him on the radio.
There we go, he's dead.
What? One more boys coming in from that side.
High in that corner there. It's good work.
We'd seen some impressive soldiering, but in part 2 of this video, we get to see what happens when it all goes wrong.
Alright, so what do you guys think? I think it was pretty good representation of what light infantry do on a regular basis. You won't be doing major exercises like that every week or every month, but you will be doing similar stuff to that leading up to that. So yeah, thought it was a pretty good video. Whether we should do a part 2 if I can find it. For the veterans that were watching, sorry to go over stuff you probably already know. Just trying to break it down for people that haven't served or are planning on serving. So cheers, thanks guys. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already.